So it's a pleasure to have you with us, Chef Dom. And I must say, congratulations on your recent win. Rooting for you from the very first episode. I felt as if you played the humility so well, because we know Jamaican Caribbean food is 5-star, but you came in with so much humility, right?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you know what? I mean, first of all, thank you for the congratulations and thank you for having me on the show. You know, it really means a lot. In terms of the competition, I went in feeling very confident because, you know, I've been working on these dishes for a long time. Of course, I've been cooking Caribbean food since I was about 10 years old. And to me, the dishes were at the best that they could be. I felt like I put a lot of time and care into them. I've been analysing the way Caribbean food's been offered in this country for the last 30 years. So I went in, you know, with my dish to show, very confident. I thought they're going to love this. So when the feedback was that this isn't quite 5-star, I was like, well, what am I going to do? I haven't got any more to give. But then sitting in the competition in that creative space, I found so much more.
When you were preparing, if it wasn't the curry goat, I know it was when you were supposed to lead the line.
The brigade.
You know? And he's like, so what are you doing with that? I'm like, yeah, you're very much interested now. We got, you know?
Yes, you know, I mean, you know, my mum, I think, has always kind of brought me up to kind of be conscious of how you're portrayed and, you know, put conscious about how you behave in public spaces. So I was very I'm quite a measured person. So I think that whilst there were times, you know, when my friends are watching it back, they're kind of like, I can see what you're thinking there. But you don't say it, you know, you respond in this really kind of measured way. And I think it really served me well because I think, you know, people have really responded to my character well. I think there was times when I was tested in the show. And I think when I watch it back, I'm proud about the kind of man that I presented to be.
Definitely. I know I'm going to be... This is a lot of spoiler alerts for people who haven't seen it yet. So we're sorry, but if you haven't, it's on Channel 4 in the UK, right?
It's on Channel 4 in the UK.
And it's streaming on Netflix now. I mean, it's on Netflix. If you're in the Caribbean, if you're in Jamaica, you can get it. It's called...
Absolutely.
It's called the 5-star chef. That's what it comes up on my Netflix as. But it's the 5-star Britain's Next Great Chef competition.
That's correct.
And of course, our very own Jamaican brother, Chef Dominic Taylor, is the winner.
Thank you very much.
When they announced you as the winner, I felt I was there as well. And when I saw how your mom reacted.
Yes.
That natural talent, you know, the richness of our culture within you and to share, but it's to just bring it to another level so that
absolutely
so that it can appease any audience, you know.
Absolutely.
And I love that.
And I think what was really important for me is because I'm in a very unique space right now. So, you know, I cook food. It was very important to me to cook food that Caribbeans were going to respect. I by no means wanted to create a product that was now just for the European market, because that wouldn't have really satisfied my passion as a chef. You know, I'm a Caribbean man. I want food that my mom's going to want to eat. I want food that my little sister's going to want to put on Instagram. But I want food that foodies are going to go, this stands up next to Italian cuisine, French cuisine, Chinese cuisine, because you go to London and all of these cuisines are available. And 5-star Caribbean food has not been available. And, you know, we've just had 75 years of the Windrush arrival. So we've been here a long time. And it's crazy that this is the first. I take a lot of influence from many places and sometimes unexpected places. I mean, my mum is a big influence in my life, you know, not just as a cook, But just as a woman, she was very inspirational. She was very ambitious. You know, so my mum, I get my work ethic from my mum. My mum was super hardworking. In terms of cooking, you know, my nan, my great aunts, my aunt Pearlie was an absolutely fantastic cook. So she definitely influenced me a lot. But then, you know, some of the big chefs in the UK, you know, Jamie Oliver was a great influence because he was kind of coming up. He's about 4 or 5 years older than me. So he got a cooking show at a very young age. So there's still elements of his style that are very much still part of my style. And then, you know, chefs like Gordon Ramsay and Gary Rhodes and Andy Worrell Thompson, these are all old greats, you know, I'm not calling them old. They might not like that, but they were kind of, you know, had 10, 15, 20 years on me. So they were my elders, absolutely, you know. And then Michelle Roux Jr., who I'm now being mentored by, which is just insane. And, you know, when you work with somebody of that caliber, is sometimes I'll make a dish and he'll taste the dish and quite casually he'll kind of say like, this just needs this. And it's just the most profound moment because you're just kind of like, it's mind blowing. You didn't think of it, but in just such casualness, he's tasted it and just in a split second knows what would make this dish amazing. I mean, so the bun and cheese dish actually came to me during the competition. But the ackee and saltfish cakes, I've been running my own brands for the last 5-6 years, and I've been serving a version of those ackee and saltfish cakes with the Scotch bonnet mayonnaise and the pineapple chow, which is like a Trinidadian dish really, with cilantro, coriander we call it here, lime juice, chili. So the balance is really cool. You know, you get this real heat from the Scotch bonnet mayonnaise, but then you get this balance from the acidity of the lime juice. And then the ackee and saltfish, you know, I've made it into a cake, so it feels presentable. As you know, ackee and saltfish, which is a beautiful dish, but it's a stew. It's not glamorous, whilst it does taste amazing. I've kind of taken it to a place where I've still got all of that flavor profile, but it's packaged in a way that feels like this is modern, this is new, this feels like something that has been considered and turned into art. I mean, you know, you don't have to ask many Jamaicans to kind of go, well, I don't want you to do anything to plantain. I mean, plantain's fine as it is. But I've managed to dress it in maple syrup and lime and chili, and people are kind of going, I love this. I love the idea of this, you know. That felt really nice.
Awesome. Awesome. Of all the dishes you've prepared for the competition, which is there anyone that really stood out for you, like this was a challenge and I enjoyed doing this?
Yes, I mean, I guess in terms of all of the dishes I've done in the competition and that I'm now on the Good Front Room menu feels like they're all my baby. Because the menu's so small, we've only got 4 starters, 4 mains, 4 dessert and 4 side dishes. So they're all my signature dishes. So it's a bit like asking someone who's their favorite child. It's really hard to, you know, I love them all in different ways. So like, for example, the jerk chicken really speaks to me as a chef because I guess in terms of putting jerk chicken on my menu, it doesn't feel revolutionary. You know, jerk chicken we've been eating every day since the beginning of time. But I think because I paired it with a plantain jam and it goes with plantain crisps and I've made a dressing that's with chili and lemongrass, all of a sudden I've made this dish different. This feels new. This feels like something you haven't had before. So I feel really proud of that. And then the ackee and saltfish cakes. This feels like something you'd want at your wedding. It's colourful, it's tidy, it feels new, but it still feels, it still feels recognisable and nostalgic and all the things that you want from ackee and saltfish. It's our national dish. So you want something that feels, you know, that you can be proud about, but still feels like this is going to impress my guests. My guests are going to go, wow. So when I came last year, I traveled the whole island. I went to Negril, St. Elizabeth, West Portland. You know, I mean, I was all over. And St. Elizabeth, my friend's mum lives there, and we had the best time there. Really, really nice, you know. But, you know, we did Ochi, which is super touristic. You know, we did Kingston. I love Kingston. Kingston, I could live in Kingston, easy.
Why did
Do
it
you
say?
know
Why
what?
did I assume that you're gonna say that?
Yeah, do you know what?
Okay,
Yeah,
please.
so I still remember in my mind one of the first times I went to Jamaica and we stopped to get jerk chicken on the roadside. And the sauce that the jerk chicken come with, I've been trying to recreate my whole life. It was insane. So strangely, it just came to me in this moment. I had to think of a name for what my restaurant concept was going to be, and I thought about this room in my great aunt's house that we were never allowed into, but it was dressed so immaculate, as if one day the Queen was going to come, you know. And I know you know the room that I'm talking
Yes,
about.
yes,
So
the
I
room that you're not supposed to go in and don't touch the stuff there. Never
don't
use
touch
them.
nothing. You know, so the cabinets would have the most beautiful glassware and beautiful plates, and there'd be lamps and, you know, pillowcases and, you know, covers on the tissue box. And it was the most glamorous room and it was never used. And especially as a child, you were forbidden to go in there because you can't brock nothing. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, perfect. And when you look at the Langham, it's the most beautiful, good front room. So it was just so fitting. It was so fitting. And people have responded to it in an amazing way.
Of course, especially when you tell that story. I hear you explaining it to me and it's giving me chills because I know
Yeah,
that room in my house.
you know
So I
that
know
room,
other people who
yes.
are Caribbean can identify with it. You know, I can
Yes,
identify with that. And I think that is what is going to make the good front room so successful. People can
absolutely.
resonate, especially people of Caribbean descent can resonate with that
Yes,
experience, you know, while at the
yes.
same time learning to appreciate the food at a different level. I love that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And do you know what's really nice as well? Because I knew Caribbeans and British Caribbeans were going to be able to resonate with it. But people who don't even know that room are buying into that story. And I think that's amazing. I think that's where the magic has really happened.
I love that. So that again.
That's soon come.
I love it. Thank you so much, Chef Dom. It was great
My
having
pleasure.
you.